through a telescope. After a moment, he lifts his gaze toward the blue sky, his eyes filled with quiet sadness. And this is where his story truly begins. This is our meal for tomorrow. The story then takes us back a few years earlier, when he was still a third-year high school student. That young man is Hayama. He is known as a quiet and withdrawn student who keeps to himself, which is why he does not have many friends at school. Most of the time he sits alone at the very corner of the classroom, staring out the window, while everyone else chats and laughs with their friends. One morning, the class is forming pairs for an upcoming sack race at the school sports festival. Because of his gloomy presence, no one is willing to team up with Hayama. But then a girl named Wamura approaches him and asks him to be her partner. Wamura is cheerful, friendly, and well-liked in class. Since she is the only one willing to pair up with him, their classmates are surprised and confused. In truth, Hayama and Wamura have known each other for a long time. They are neighbors and even went to the same middle school. Back then, Hayama used to be quite popular, but everything changed after his older brother passed away. Since then, he has become distant and withdrawn, cutting himself off from others, including Wamura. He also develops a habit of reading novels about death, which makes his classmates see him as strange and avoid him even more. The next day during gym class, Wamura invites Hayama to practice for the sack race together. Their first attempt does not go well, as they cannot find a rhythm and end up falling. While practicing, Hayama asks why no one else wanted to be his partner. Wamura casually tells him that his aura feels too gloomy, which is why people stay away. The following day, Hayama is sitting on a bench near the school garden, once again reading the same novel about death. Wamura comes over and asks why he keeps reading the same book again and again, since he always seems to carry it with him everywhere. During the break, they continue practicing for the sack race. This time, Hayama suggests switching positions so they can move more in sync and jump faster. His idea works, and they are finally able to make longer, smoother jumps compared to before. After practice, the two of them sit down to rest and enjoy some cold drinks together. As Hayama starts to feel more comfortable around Wamura, he unexpectedly opens up about the day his older brother died. The memory comes naturally to him, triggered by the same clear blue sky he saw on that painful day. Wamura, unsure of how to respond, quietly steps away and says she is going to practice for the relay race. After school, Hayama makes it a habit to visit his brother's grave, offering prayers every day. His brother meant everything to him, and letting go of that loss is still something he cannot do. The next morning at school, Wamura approaches Hayama while he is once again absorbed in his book. This time, she brings an entire bag filled with novels about death that she found at home. Through this gesture, she tries to show him that while loss is painful, no one should remain trapped in that sadness forever. Life has to keep moving forward. Her words leave Hayama silent as he continues thinking about what she said. Soon, the day of the school sports festival arrives. Hayama and Wamura are on the same team, the red team. At first, they are in last place, but through teamwork and determination, they manage to turn things around and win the sack race. Exhausted but happy, they sit by the field afterward, enjoying the moment together. It is there that Wamura reveals she made a promise to herself. If they won first place, she would confess her feelings to Hayama. She finally asks him if he would be willing to go out with her, but Hayama turns her down, still unable to move on from the loss of his brother. The next day, Hayama meets Wamura to return all the books she lent him. Still hurt by the rejection, Wamura responds coldly, telling him the books are his now and he can give them away if he wants. She then walks off, leaving Hayama behind. Watching her go, he begins to realize that his answer the day before has hurt her more than he thought. The next day, Wamura suddenly does not show up at school. Seeing that, Hayama begins to feel guilty, thinking she is absent because she is embarrassed after being rejected. After school, he decides to visit her at home to check on her. But it turns out she is simply down with the flu. Before leaving, Hayama brings her 2 bottles of the soft drink she always enjoys at school. Not long after, Hayama finally admits that he actually likes Wamura too. However, he is still afraid to love someone because he is terrified of losing them. By chance, Wimura's grandmother overhears everything. Realizing this, Hayama is startled and quickly greets her. Wimura has been living only with her grandmother since her parents left when she was still a child. Later that afternoon, Hayama and Wimura take a walk along the edge of the village, talking about their plans after graduation. Wimura is full of excitement, dreaming about all the things she wants to do in college, while Hayama still seems unsure about his own future. When graduation day finally arrives, Hayama quietly tells Wimura that he wants to attend the same university as her. She reacts with complete surprise, drawing attention from nearby students. The reason is simple: Wimura plans to enroll in Nishimine Women's University, which Hayama cannot attend. In the end, Hayama chooses to study at Mayu Institute instead. Once college life begins, the two of them officially start dating. They often spend time together, especially at their favorite fried chicken restaurant. In front of the restaurant stands a statue of an old man, and Wimura always makes a habit of shaking its hand. To her, it is a way of gaining courage to face everyday life. One day during lunch, Hayama runs into a college friend named Sukahara, who happens to be eating there as well. Sukahara returns a notebook he once borrowed from Hayama. Seeing that Hayama is slowly opening up and making friends, Wimura feels happy and even praises him for it. After that, they head up to a rooftop to look out over the city through a telescope. It is a place Wimura used to visit often with her grandmother when she was younger. While watching an elderly couple who seem to share a peaceful and lasting bond, Wimura expresses her wish to have someone she can stay with for a lifetime. Later, as they enjoy ice cream together, Wimura talks about her love for children and her dream of becoming a teacher. She explains that she grew up without her parents and was raised by her grandparents. Because of that, she wants children who lack love and attention at home to feel cared for at school. Hearing this for the first time, Hayama feels surprised. He realizes there are still many things he does not know about her, and that thought leaves him feeling both sad and a little disappointed. On another day, while Hayama is on a trip to Thailand, he shares his frustration about Wimura with a group of Japanese women he happens to dine with. One of them gently points out that in life, there are some things better left unsaid. Hearing that, Hayama begins to realize that he does not need to know everything, especially if it helps keep a relationship stronger. After returning to Japan, he quickly asks Wimura to meet him at their favorite fried chicken restaurant. While waiting in line, Wimura mentions that while he was away in Thailand, she felt bored and decided to travel to Australia on her own. She admits she is used to doing things alone, but deep down, she hopes that one day she can share those experiences with him. The next day, they return to the rooftop again, looking out over the city through the telescope. They spend their time playfully mimicking the people they see down below. In that quiet moment, Wimura shares another dream. She wants to have 3 children someday, just to experience what it feels like to have a complete family. The story then moves forward 3 years later. Wimura is now in her final semester of college and has started working as a temporary teacher at a kindergarten. Meanwhile, Hayama is busy with his part-time job at a factory. One day, while they are having a meal together, Wimura suddenly says she wants to end their relationship. Hayama is caught completely off guard and cannot understand why. Instead of giving a clear reason, Wimura avoids the topic and talks about unrelated things, as if she is hiding something important. 2 weeks after their breakup, Sukahara invites Hayama to hang out with some friends, hoping it will help him move on. During that gathering, Hayama meets a girl named Amiri, who studies at the same university. Amiri shows clear interest in him, and slowly Hayama begins to consider opening his heart again. That day, Amiri invites him over for fried chicken at her place. After trying her cooking, Hayama is genuinely impressed, and from that point on they start growing closer. Later, while working at the factory with Sukahara, Hayama talks about how things are going with Amiri. Sukahara mentions that working at the factory with Sukahara, Hayama talks about how things are going with Amiri. Sukahara mentions that Wimura is happy to hear that Hayama has found someone new. But in reality, that is not true at all because Wimura still deeply loves him. The next day, when Hayama visits his brother's grave, he unexpectedly sees Wimura standing there, quietly praying. Surprised, he wonders why she came. Wimura explains that she feels guilty for ending their relationship on her own. Still confused, Hayama asks again why she chose to break up. This time, she says their relationship was not approved by her grandmother. Once again, she hides the truth. Meanwhile, Hayama's relationship with Amiri continues to grow closer. Amiri clearly cares about him, but Hayama seems distant and unhappy. Deep down, he still cannot let go of Wimura.
亮太が一緒ならどこだっていい。私は
After thinking it through, he finally realizes that he never truly loved Amiri, because his heart has always belonged to Wamura. The very next day, he goes to Amiri's house and ends their relationship, refusing to stay in something that feels forced. That night, Hayama goes to Wamura's house and asks her to get back together with him, but Wamura firmly refuses. Feeling rejected and lost, Hayama shuts himself away in his room for weeks, until Sukahara visits him and encourages him to move forward. Eventually, Hayama returns to campus and resumes his daily routine, but memories of Wamura continue to linger in his mind. Soon after, Hayama decides to visit the kindergarten where Wamura works. He learns that she is on leave due to illness and is currently hospitalized. When he arrives at the hospital, Wamura finally reveals the truth. She has been undergoing treatment for a tumor in her womb. Her condition has become serious enough that she must undergo surgery to remove it, which means she will no longer be able to have children. Hearing this, Hayama's feelings become even clearer. More than anything, he wants to stay by her side and support her through it all. That night, he visits her hospital room and gently comforts her. Nearby, an elderly patient speaks with him, and through that conversation, Hayama finally understands why Wamura chose to leave him. She did it to protect him, so he would not have to experience losing someone he loves again, especially after he once admitted how afraid he was of that very pain. In that moment, Hayama also realizes something about himself. He wants Wamura's dream of having a family to come true because he knows what it feels like to grow up without a complete one. The next day, while looking out over the city through the same telescope they used to share, Hayama notices Wamura standing on a rooftop, quietly crying. The moment he sees that, he rushes straight to the hospital, determined to be there for her. On his way, he brings along the old man statue from in front of their favorite fried chicken restaurant, the same one Wamura always believed gave her courage. As he makes his way there, memories of their time together keep replaying in his mind. When he finally arrives, Hayama makes it clear that Wamura is the most important person in his life. He wants to stay by her side no matter what happens, and support her until she recovers. Even if they cannot have children, it does not change how he feels. To him, being with her is enough. He then encourages her to hold the statue, hoping it will give her the strength she needs to face what is coming. The next day, Wamura undergoes her surgery. Thankfully, everything goes well, and she makes it through safely. As she is brought out of the operating room, her grandmother asks Hayama to take care of her for the rest of her life. A few days later, after Wamura has recovered, the two of them walk home hand in hand. The story closes with a quiet, heartfelt moment between them, as they finally move forward together and embrace a future filled with happiness. So the moral of the story is, if you like someone, just say it early before things get so dramatic, you end up bringing a whole statue to the hospital like it is a side character.